I'm a front end developer, more on the front end side of it. Though I know a little bit about back end, but more on the front end side. I think I have like less than 5 years experience though. I've worked on several projects on the web. Yeah, I'm more on the web, not on mobile at all.
Not of
Maybe in the future. Maybe in the future. Maybe in the future, in the nearest future. But right now, more on the web, vast experience on the web.
yeah.
So that's me in a bit. That's me in a bit.
Yeah, so I've seen some of your work before, and I know very well that you are very, very good at what you do, and that's why I'm bringing you up on this live show.
Thank you.
Um,
Appreciate the opportunity to appear on live for the
yeah.
first time.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
good. You should do more of this. I think it's good. Yes. So for somebody starting a career in the tech space, like let's focus more on your front end development job.
Yeah.
For somebody starting a career as a front end developer, what would you advise that person? What would you say? What would you say? Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Number one, I think number one is don't skip the basics. Very important. You should not skip the basics. Take your time and learn HTML. Take your time and learn CSS. Take your time and learn JavaScript. Don't skip. Like there's a pattern that some people follow, which is like keeping JavaScript and going to React. Sure you get. Then learning React as you're learning JavaScript. Sure you get. So though you can't learn it all, that's one thing I think newcomers should know. You can't learn it all, but learn every day. But don't skip that one or two things you should know before going to the next step. Don't skip it. Don't skip it. Then talk to people, like people already in the field. Talk to them, learn from them. Then also join communities. Then there's something Dev Jaye said, which is have a mentor. You need. You see one thing about my own journey now. Well, let me tell you, I've been a UI designer. I've learned a little bit but I've learned backend too. But I think, assuming I had a mentor then, I would have just stayed on my path, front end development. Sure, you get. You
Yeah.
need to like identify that okay, this is where I have passion. Like this is where I see myself. This is like what he said. You see what I'm telling you that I said it all. You see when you wake up in the morning and you're not hungry, you're not like when will I stop? Like when will the day be over? For like the working hour of the day be over? When you know that okay, you love doing this thing, just pick that one. Pick that. If you know that it is front end you love, just stay on front end. If you know it's back end you love problem solving. Why I, why I chose front end was okay. I love seeing what I'm doing. Like I love the fact that I can write this code and see it. Then you know front end now is not more like front end or before now it's more advanced. You're now doing a lot of logic on the front end side of the app. So those are the things, Sha.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
So what are the learning resources that helped you to grow? Because I think that's one of the most challenging aspects in the tech space too. Because you try to like there are a lot of resources out there on YouTube, but it's so stressful. Not like too stressful. Like you just keep by the time you finish then one, you just be like, what did I gain here? So what would you advise? What are the learning resources? What are the okay, like let's say you want to start a front end development career path. Um, what are the coding skills that you need to start to learn from? Is it HTML, then JavaScript,
Mm-hmm.
then just tell us the steps, number one. And secondly, what are the learning resources? What are the resources that helped you to grow?
Yeah. So okay, starting out front end development, you need to learn HTML. Definitely. There's no there's no running away from it. You need to learn CSS for styling your HTML. There's no running away from that one too. Then lastly, JavaScript. Another place you can't run from. You can't run from it. As far as you want to do front end development, you can't run from it. It's very, very essential. Then about way to learn, I think that was a very, like you said, it's something that is difficult. Or should I say, okay, it was difficult for me to like saying that okay, this way I'm getting resources. When I started. I remember a friend in school. Then he was already an expert already in programming. But back then, he used to gather us like five, six of us. Then teach us, teach us HTML and CSS. Sure, you get it. He taught us HTML and CSS. Then like weekends, I think, yeah, weekends. He taught us, gave us tasks to like do. Then, like when you have classmates that are not willing to learn this programming, but you want to force them to learn it. Yeah. So after that one, it's now left to us to now go ahead. And so for the learning part, I think utilize YouTube. YouTube is very, 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 very much full of resources. Like I think everybody should know that by now. That anything you want to do outside programming itself, YouTube is very resourceful. You want to put your baby to bed itself, you see video for it. Anything you want to cook, you know sabi cook, you must see YouTube video for it. So I think you should utilize YouTube. Utilize YouTube, learn basics of HTML, CSS. Then I went to actually attended coding classes. I attended coding classes. It was still basics, HTML and CSS. I attended coding classes for like 3 months, just to like strengthen my hand, just to like know that okay, this thing I've been learning personally on YouTube. I know how to do it.
You have to
Then
do it.
there's one thing about community. I just wanted to like, there's one thing about learning with people. I'm seeing people that are doing it. So like it made so much sense going to the coding classes. So I've said Udemy, YouTube, then coding classes. Then lastly, I think you should utilize um Udemy.
Okay.
Udemy,
I think that's. I think
Udemy very,
table
very, 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 very essential. Very essential.
very very essential.
Like starting a React, I think I go one or two courses. Though
And they are very good.
I'm also a guilty party to not finishing courses. Oh. I'm not, but then it's very essential.
Wow.
It's very essential. Just pay for one course. Pay for one course. Get it. Watch it. Try and watch it. Try and watch it to the end. Try and watch it to the end.
Wow.
Try and watch it to the end.
Okay,
Try and watch
that's good. That's
it. Yeah. Yeah.
so
Until
this brings us,
yeah.
yeah, so the next question now. What are the challenges you faced? And second part, you should try to put in your motivation. So what motivated you? Like the other stuff, like you want to become a software engineer, nothing else. So what helped you to stay motivated, and what is your own major challenge while you are developing yourself in this as a front-end developer?
Okay. Major challenge back then was I think what he said is still like part of it. Like when you enter school as a computer science student, there's no like what do you want to do?
Mm-hmm.
They are packing everything for you.
Everything.
Everything. You go do hardware, you go do software, you do Java, you do Python. So like there's no specialization for you then. That was one. It's one there was like lack of identity. Let me put it like that. There's lack of identity. You are not identifying yourself like this is what I want to do. That was one. Another challenge is resources to learn. Resources to learn. Another challenge. Another challenge. The the thing is having someone to guide you at the end of the day just like take out a
Important.
lot of challenges. Take out a lot of challenges. Assuming there was someone then telling you that okay, this is what you do, this is what you do.
Exactly.
That's why now I'm like anybody that needs this knowledge, I'm always like willing to
Share.
share because back then I know that means when I wanted to start, if I had someone to like meet that okay, how do I learn this thing?
Mhm.
Mm. So lack of mentorship, so it could be a challenge. It could be a challenge. Then for students, not having that laptop, na serious challenge. Na serious challenge. I remember doing Python on my phone. Then there was this app I used then. There was this app I used then. I remember doing Python on my phone. Lack of laptops, yeah. But this is social media is like helping. There are people that always doing giveaways, all those things. I think it's helping now. Social media is more active towards. Okay, yeah, like you said, recently, like programming became like a trend in the country. Sure, you
Yeah,
get. Before it was not very popular. There were people into programming then, but it was not as popular as it is now.
yeah.
Mm, it's more popular now. It's more popular now.
Okay.
So
So what helped you stay motivated?
how I've been stay motivated is like knowing the goal that the goal one day I'll be a very good programmer.
Yeah.
Like that goal is one day I'll be solving this problem. One day I'll be creating solutions for companies. One day I'll be helping people like do this app that will help them, do this app that will help them. And I think it has been like a very good motivation for me.
For you.
Like knowing that I
Another.
knowing that I will have that strength to create this solution for you. Knowing that okay, through what I create, people will be able to solve this task, solve that task. Yeah, I think that was like being a because when I was young, I think I was always like, how did they do this site? How did they do this site? How did they do this site? What's the logic behind this? When I was much younger. But like now, though now it's like uh is it not this is it not this? But then you you be intrigued like, oh wow, how is this happening on the you know that time we used to pay for
Yeah.
uh 30 minutes at cyber cafe. Pay for
Yeah.
30 minutes, pay for 1 hour. Yeah. Now but those things now motivated me to keep
Wow.
going, to keep pushing.
So one question that I have a question.
Yeah.
While you're developing yourself in the front end space, like, um, how would you try to like help anybody develop in that space? For example, okay, I start to learn HTML. How can I learn? Like, how can I learn it on my own? Like, some people find it difficult to. Okay, they can read the materials and practice some questions. So I don't want to say, how can I know how to build this thing? At the end of the learning resources, how can I put it to use? Do I have to start to build projects on my own? Do I have to reach out to? So I want you to talk about the practical aspects of the learning process. So how can somebody, make use of the past projects, the learning resources to build themselves? So what can you say regarding that?
Okay. Regarding that, I think one thing you should do is always build projects. No matter how little what you learn is, always build projects. What I did back then when I started, even HTML, I wanted to say React, but now looking back at it, even HTML and CSS,
Yeah.
I was still creating websites like no matter how small it is, even if it's a one pager, even if it is a multi page, I was always creating. So always create, no matter how little the knowledge is, the more you do it, the more there's retention.
Retention. That's right.
Yeah, it stays with you. It's always like, I realize that once you practice it, it
Yeah.
stays with you. So I think building, then sharing. Though I did not do that back then, but I wish I did that back then. Sharing social media, using the social media, utilizing social media. Okay, I feel like social media is more popular now these days. Back then, social media was not
It was
as
not. Hmm.
as this. But now there are communities, there are people that are out there, audience, really, they are waiting to see you
Beauty.
create a post. They are waiting for you to post so they can criticize your work,
Yeah.
give you. constructive criticism. So no matter how little what you're doing is, just create it, post it, let somebody see it, click the link. Okay, okay, what you did is nice. What you did, okay, you need to adjust this button, you need to do this, you need to do that. From those minor things, you're building yourself at the end of the day. You're actually building yourself.
Wow, thank you so much for this. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're
Uh,
welcome.
yeah, it has been a long day. It has been a great discussion so far, and thank you for this session. Before we round up, I would love to ask one question. What is the most important piece of advice you would give to somebody just starting their coding journey? What is that thing, that important thing?
Yeah, don't give up. No matter the amount of bugs you face, don't give up. Don't give up. Don't get discouraged. Don't look at the obstacles. As far as your goal, you have your goal set. It's like know that okay, this is where I'm headed at the end of the day. As far as you have that goal set, just keep your mindset focused. No matter like the obstacles, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of obstacles. If you're in Nigeria, there's never obstacle. For example, yeah, no, there's no obstacle. There's no constant electricity. There's network obstacle.
Yeah.
There's network obstacle. So like no matter the obstacle, just like keep pushing. Know
Wow.
that have that end goal at the back of your mind. Have like a mentor. This is how this person, this like your chosen mentor on your path that you've chosen. Okay, this is where my mentor is. I want to surpass my mentor.
Yes, that should be
I
your
want
goal.
to surpass my mentor. You don't want to get to your mentor, you want to surpass
So
the
far, yeah.
yeah. So
Well, thank you so much for this. So briefly, you told us to, uh, just like both speakers, you made emphasis on mentorship, that we should get a mentor.
very
Yeah,
important.
thank you so much for that. Secondly, you talked about not giving up. Right, we should not give up. Thank you, thank you. If you have any question, I didn't even have. If anybody has any question, please you can post your question. Thank you so much. We are about rounding up. This is 2:56. So Damilare said that we should not give up. We should stay focused,
Don't give
and
up.
yes, and we should think about surpassing our mentors. You don't want to stay in the level, right? Because the goal of mentorship is to surpass, is to develop somebody, is to impact another person's life so that the person can be better than you, right?
Yeah,
So that the person can will not make the same mistake.
yeah, you
So
invest.
yeah, so we should keep practicing. We should
Yes.
stay consistent. We should learn to build, and learn from other projects, and build and keep building, not giving up. Thank you so much for this. This brings us to the end of today's live session.
Yeah, thank you
Uh,
for having me.
Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Damilare Ogunbo. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
We are so blessed, and thank you for sharing your experience, and thank you for sharing with us resources on how to start and develop ourselves. You also said something that you made use of YouTube channels, right? So YouTube channels is also learning resources,
Yes.
and of course with Demi, I think that's one of the first online learning platform and resources for us to develop ourselves. And you talk about challenges as a student, knowing your career path is also important. You need to understand which one do I want to develop myself in. Don't just jump into you just don't pick one language to start to learn. You need to understand the career path. Where am I going to? Which one do I want to start with? Do I want to become a front end developer or a back end developer? And you need to look for somebody in that space. Put your work out there. You also talk about putting your work out there, so you can get constructive criticism, which is very important because you need it to grow. You don't just need applause, right? You need somebody that can tell you that this is good, this is bad, this is what I use, this is how I develop myself. One last thing. in any of the physical project, in any of the projects you've done with clients, can you state any of your major challenge that you face? Has there been any point in time that you're trying to develop something for a customer or a client and you don't know how to go about it? So, um, what was your greatest challenge?
Mhm. I'm trying to think about it. Trying to think about it because
This outside.
the thing is, I think greatest challenge on the development. Okay, greatest challenge is
Okay,
sorry.
I
Can you
can
hear me?
hear you now. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So greatest challenge outside. Okay, fine. Greatest challenge is client not knowing what they want. Client not knowing what they want at the end of the day.
Okay.
The, they always like okay, you've approved a design, you approved that okay, this is how we want it to be. So that back and forth and it's developed already. Sure you get. Then you take it back. No, this is not what I want. This is not what I want. Well, you sent me this design, no. So those that I think that's my greatest challenge because I've not really experienced so much challenge because I have a team.
You have a team. That
Yes,
is where I'm going. You know, many a times developers we just come in as one man mopo or one person that knows it all. When you want to develop something, you want to develop a project or you want to become a freelance, it is important for you to get a team. You
yes,
know, get somebody that can collaborate with you, that
yes.
can support you.
Having a team is the reason why I think I've not really had so much difficulties because brainstorming is together.
Yeah,
We brainstorm together. Like, okay, this project is here. How do we go about it? Do you understand?
yeah, yeah,
This project is here. How do we solve this problem here? Oh, I'm experiencing this bug. What's your thought process? What's this? So this is, I think having a team is very, very important and critical. So
yeah,
it may be a two-man team at the end of the day. You don't necessarily need to be five, six. But having, like I said, two heads are better than one. So it's very, very
yeah.
important.
So when we talk about freelancing, we are talking about you getting jobs, right? You
Yes.
not having 9 to 5 job, but it's important for you to have a team, somebody that you can always reach out to that can support you in case you have too many projects to handle. You need to have
Yes.
somebody that can support you so you can deliver. And should in case you get stopped, like you don't know where to go, you don't know how to develop this application or how to go about it, you need somebody that can help you, that can support you. You also need somebody that can help you to brainstorm, bring up um make the project, bring up ideas, and so that you can deliver a very good
Job.
result, a good job, and people can recommend you.
Yes.
So that is so you need to understand that having collaborators and team is important in the tech space. You can't know it all. You need people. You need your colleagues. You need people
Very,
to
very important.
yes to help you to develop a very good and a very good result, a good job, so you can and it's also help you to develop yourself
Yeah.
because by the time you learn
You learn.
as
You
a
learn in the process. You learn in the
learn in the
process.
process. So collaboration is key in the tech space.
Very, very,
Yes.
very, very key. Very key.
Good,
Very,
good, good. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. One last word he said, we should stay focused. So we are going to be ending this live session on learning how to code. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for joining this live session. Thank you all. Thank you